Welcome back to the Endgame Ultimate Iron Man, where I try to complete all the best in slot gear without ever using the bank. In the previous episode, we returned to the tombs of amascut, saw many purples, and finally received the third and final mega rare, the Tumikin's Shadow, and that brings us up to now. So after receiving the Tumikin's Shadow, I had to deathbank so I could free up some space. The Tumikin's Shadow requires 2 soul runes and 5 chaos runes to charge. The best Iron Man way to get some runes fast is shop hopping and buying chaos runes. Luckily, I already had a decent stack of soul runes that I held onto from the tombs, so I'm just going to toss some charges into this, and hopefully these last me for a while. Alright, I charged up my Shadow, and now I just need to do some quick tidying up of the looting bag. So firstly, we are going to be getting rid of the Sang staff that I was holding onto. I previously only kept this because it has slightly higher range than the Eye of Ayak, despite being worse damage. But now I am going to be selling it for a little bit of cash, as I really don't ever need this now that I've got the Tumikin's Shadow. 2.5 mil, not bad. So before we get too far into the video, in the previous episode you may remember what I said towards the end of the video. The Tumikin's Shadow was the last piece of the master plan. So now I can finally reveal the master plan that I've been working on. The master plan is getting master combat achievements. That's it. The combat achievements are collectively the most challenging thing you can do in this game. But why don't I just go for grandmaster? Well, let's walk before we run. I'm currently sitting at the elite tier, and I've still got a ways before I hit master. Luckily, now that I've got all 3 mega rares, it should make some of these tasks a lot easier than otherwise. My gear could use a few more slight improvements to truly be best in slot, but for now, I'm not going to worry about those small details. I figured since I'm already geared for TOA, and I've got a friend also doing TOA, I might as well try and knock out a few more of these combat achievements. He's missing a lot of the same ones that I am, so together we can both check off some more combat achievements. It's kind of annoying, but a lot of these achievements require at least 2 people in the raid, so I guess this is a perfect time to get these out of the way. So this is the first time that I've ever used a Shadow. I never had one on my main, so this is actually the first raid where I finally get to use it. And let me tell you, I see why it's worth almost a bill. Anyway, as you may have been able to tell, we are only running a 150 because we both need the Toon Speed Runner, which is just a regular 150 in under 18 minutes. 5 seconds off? Oh, damn. Purple? Never lucky.
No shot. Oh, so fast.
Yo, let's go.
So fast in raid phase.
That really was too fast.
Like three shots, 4 shots.
Purple? Damn it.
No,
Never lucky. Anyway, that was the Tombs Speedrunner completed. Alright, the next task to check off is Insanity, which is to complete Perfect Wardens in an expert level raid. Conveniently, since you do need to do Perfect Wardens, it also completes the Perfect Wardens task. And we're also trying to pair this with Maybe I'm the Boss, which is to complete a TOA with every single boss invocation active, and also without anyone dying.
That's perfect. That's gotta be Insanity, yeah.
Insanity,
Nice.
Maybe I'm the Bot. Fuck yeah.
Here, now we don't have to worry about Insanity.
Was that 12 points? Dude, never
Yeah.
lucky. So after that, we tried to go for the Perfect Akka achievement, and we tried for about an hour and kept failing somehow. So we both decided to take a break from that and move on to something else. Since I'm only going for Master at the moment, it allows me some flexibility, meaning I don't necessarily need to complete every single task right now. Anyway, we decided to move on to the Nightmare. I've never killed this boss before in this account, and after the 1 KC combat achievement, I realized that I definitely need to free up some inventory and bag space before I actually grind this boss. So I called it good at the 1 KC mark and decided to move on to something else. I decided to go back to Hispori so that I could clean up the bag some more. I still have most of the common loot from TOA to deal with, so I'm going to start by processing all of these dragon stones and the gold bars. This is one of my favorite crafting methods because it's decent XP and it earns us some GP as well. So we are going to be making all of these into dragonstone bracelets. I personally wouldn't do this for anything below diamond. However, if you're an ultimate and you've got a ton of gems and gold bars, then this can be a decent, viable option for your crafting grind that will also earn you some money. So we're getting pretty close to wrapping up these, and we made almost 5 mil. I'm going to be needing a lot of cash so that I can keep funding the rune cost for this shadow. Alright, and next up we have to deal with all of these snapdragon herbs that were in my bag. So that means we're going to be making super restores with red spider eggs. I've shown this method before, but basically it consists of grabbing a few initial spider eggs, then buying these raw sardines from Relica. After that, I teleport to the Tower of Life and make the spidines, since they will always drop noted red spider eggs. Then finally, when we get enough red spider eggs, I can take them to the Great Exchange and finally make some potions. And I keep telling you guys this, being friends with an ultimate is the best moneymaker in game. Shout out to my clanmate Snow Husky for dropping me a couple gnome scarves for the bond money. After doing all those difficult expert raids, I think I'm finally ready to take on the next challenging boss. This is something that many players fear, and me personally, I've been putting off for quite some time.
I'll be right under their noses.
It's Scurious. Yeah, I've got some of these tasks already completed, but for these last two, I'm going to need a Scurious Spine in order to make the Ratbane weapon. Ratbane weapons have no tick delay between attacks if you're hitting a rat, and obviously for the other task, we need to kill it with a Ratbane weapon. So these tasks really shouldn't take that long unless I go extremely dry.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I got the spine. Okay, so I went and made the mace, and all I need to do is kill 6 of the rats in there within 3 seconds, and then I need to finish off Scurious with the mace, and that should complete the combat achievements. Yo, efficient pest control. Sit rat, let's go. Alright, you might be wondering what I'm doing right now. If you watched the channel before, you already know. I'm going to go store this Amulet of the Damned inside of the nest, which holds any tradable item under 100k value. Unfortunately, when you die, the Amulet of the Damned is deleted upon death, so just in case I die, I don't want to have to go back to Shades of Morton. Next up, we have the Corporeal Beast. I've killed it once before just for the heck of it, but that was before I had the Elder Maul. I never had a Dragon Warhammer either, so I can finally kill this boss quicker. These tasks are pretty straightforward: 25 kill count, 50 kill count, and hot on your feet, which requires us to kill Corp without taking damage from the core. It's not too bad, we just need to move 2 tiles each time it jumps at us, and then continue the kill as normal. We are going to be turning Corp into a chicken, meaning draining all of its stats to 0 so that we take minimal damage and always hit since it will have no defense. The stat draining method, or as I like to call it, the chicken method, is pretty simple. It starts with getting 3 Elder Maul special attacks, followed by 19 successful Arclight special attacks. Then after that, you can follow it up with 200 damage with the BGS special, and that will drain all of his stats, and you'll take minimal damage. Okay, that is the first kill done, and apparently we failed hot on your feet. Oh, shit.
Who can say where the road goes?
Well, dying at Corp usually isn't that big of a deal, but unfortunately I had a few items still in his Spory. Dying again with items in a death bank causes them to be permanently deleted. I did not think I was going to die to Corp, but all it took was me not paying attention for a second. Thankfully, the items I had left in there were not that valuable to me anymore. It does kind of suck losing 20 mil worth of tears. I mean, I could have dropped those to the main, but since we've got the Shadow now, we really don't need those anyway, so I guess I don't have to worry about dying anymore. Let's go. Hot on your feet. I needed a little pick-me-up after that death. The fuck kind of drop is this? Okay, I know it's only 10 KC, but I think I'm going to be taking a break because these kills are honestly very boring, so I'm going to move on to something a little more exciting. Next up, we're going to be revisiting a boss that I've already completed, drop-wise, and that is Vardorvis. He's one of the 4 Desert Treasure 2 bosses. All of the DT2 bosses drop a different piece of the Soul Reaper axe, which I'm not going to go for since I've already got a scythe. They also all have an untradeable drop that you use to upgrade the Dagannoth King rings. Vardorvis in particular drops the Ultor Vestige, which upgrades the Berserker ring, and I can confidently say that we got Mega Spooned here. The rate is about 1 in 1100, and we received it at 252 KC. The only other big drop from the DT2 bosses is the Virtus set. However, since I already have the full Ancestral set, I really don't need to go out of my way for this. It is slightly better than Ancestral when using Ancients, but going on rate for the full set would be quite a task. Anyway, here are the combat tests that I've already got, just the kill count ones so far. Yo, speed trial is completed. Oh, Vardorvis Speed Chaser, let's go. So I kept trying and resetting for the grandmaster time. Obviously, since I don't really need the items here, I don't really need to complete the kills, I guess, if they're going slow. So since the overall fight is pretty short, the task does rely heavily on RNG, a lot more than some other tasks. But anyway, this is the full clip of the kill. I figured I would just show it since the entire thing is not even a minute long. Yo, let's go! Okay, you might be wondering why my gear looks so weird. Well, this task I'm currently doing is the Budget Cutter achievement, which requires a Vardorvis kill with 2 mil or less in gear. This is actually the 3rd attempt at this. The first 2 attempts, I didn't realize that the stuff in your inventory counted towards the total value, so I had a death pile and get rid of that stuff temporarily. Finally, let's go. So this next achievement is kind of different, but it requires us to stand in the center 5x5 tiles while Vardorvis is at his max speed. Once he reaches 1/3 of his total HP, he starts moving his axes and everything much faster. So we literally just have to sit here and tank these axes for 3 minutes. My setup for this was just an inventory of brews and a Din's Bulwark to help mitigate some damage. I also set up a timer off screen for 3 minutes, and at the end of the timer, I'm allowed to kill him. Nice, that is the Axe Enthusiast completed. I also forgot to mention I did death pile for this, just so I could have some extra inventory space. Alright, I'm going to pick up all my stuff and take a break from this boss. I'm just missing the Perfect Vardorvis and Awakened Vardorvis kill. I'm going to be saving all of the Awakened versions for a different time because each of those is going to require an Awakener's Orb, which I can't just bank and save for later. So whenever the time comes, I will need to farm a lot of those. Alright, this is something completely different, but my friend is a high-level hardcore Iron Man, and he's down to just 1 achievement diary left. So he recruited the 3 of us to wake up at 5 AM and help protect him while he finishes the Wilderness Diary. Like I said, this was at 5 AM, and we did most of this on a 2200 world. So at the time, in the morning, the world only had about 100 people on it, so the wilderness was pretty much dead. We didn't run into any trouble, and my friend ended up getting his achievement diary cape. So I guess congrats to him for making it this far without dying. And next up, to keep the Desert Treasure 2 theme going, I've got some Duke tasks to complete. Much like Vardorvis, I had killed this boss previously, but before the combat achievements were out. So I already have the kill count task completed, but I'm still missing everything else. So let's try and knock these out. that was easy. The 2-for-1 special, Duke Speed Trialist, and Duke Speed Chaser. And this task that I'm going for is Cold Feet, which is to kill the Duke Succulus without taking any avoidable damage, and you also have to do it all while walking. Yo, let's go. Cold Feet. Oops. Yo, let's go. Ooh, right on the dot, 40 seconds. Duke Speedrunner. This one totally caught me off guard because I didn't even realize that I was on a perfect streak, but that is the perfect Duke completed. Alright, and the task that we're going for now is Mirror Image, which is to kill the Duke while only attacking the boss on the same tick that he attacks us. At 25% HP, his attacks switch to a 4-tick cycle, so that's why I'm using the claws in this clip and not the scythe. Yo, let's go. Mirror Image completed. Okay, that is 8 out of 9 completed. The only one I don't have is the Awakened Duke Succulus, and we'll need an Awakener's Orb for that, which obviously I don't have one, so yeah, we're gonna have to come back for that one eventually. Okay, this is what our new inventory is going to be looking like. I had to keep the Dragon Defender in Hespori because my Avernic is currently in the stash, so if we die, then I guess the Dragon Defender will also be deleted. And next in the DT2 lineup is the Leviathan. I've never killed this boss except for the 1 kill needed during the quest, so it might take me a few kills to get the hang of this boss. I think for this guy, I'm just going to try and get the 50 kill count and see whatever else I can pick up along the way. And there we go, that's the first kill. So Leviathan Adept, which is just to kill the Leviathan once, and Serpentine Solo, which I unintentionally did, but that is to kill the Leviathan without stunning it more than once. Ooh, Speed Trialist. Oh, Awakener's Orb. Oh, smoke quartz? What the fuck?
Hell yeah, brother.
So I'm never actually going to use the smoke quartz for anything, mainly because it's absolutely useless, but you can actually use these on the chest and it will spit out some loot for you instead. The Onyx bolt tips are a really good GP drop, but in order to get the best alch value out of them, it's wise to attach them to bolts first. So I'm making a slight detour to get some rune bolts so that I can alch these for the maximum value. Remember how I was saying that the Vardorvis speed time is kind of RNG? Well, much like this kill, I somehow popped off for this one. I got extremely lucky on my ruby bolt hits, so it made this kill go super fast. Oh, let's go. Grandmaster speedrunner task.
Jeez.
Oh fuck, I just died. Oh, there goes my Dragon Defender. Yo, Scarred Tablet. For those that don't know, each of the Desert Treasure 2 bosses drop some kind of tablet. These can be used with the Ring of Shadows to unlock new teleports that pretty much bring you directly to the boss. So this definitely should cut down our time between kills. Kill count 50, Leviathan Master, let's go.
Yo.
Alright, now to change things up, I'm going to quickly death pile because I want to use up that Awakener's Orb from before. And I also want to have a clean inventory so that I can fit in some extra food. I was watching some videos and it looks like the Awakened Duke might be the easiest. I don't know, but I wanted to check it out. Okay, here's our setup for Awakened Duke. Wish me luck. So, maybe we're not ready for the Awakened Duke, but I think we're ready for the regular Whisperer. Much like the Leviathan, I've never killed this boss outside of the quest in the main game. I do have quite a bit of experience from the Awakened Whisperer on Grandmaster, but that video didn't perform very well, so I wouldn't really expect anyone to know that. Anyway, here are the tasks for this boss. I'm probably just going to aim for the 50 kill count mark again, and see what else we can get along the way. Okay, so first Whisperer kill. Definitely some room for improvement. New PB. Oh, and the tablet. Let's go. Oh, and you know what I just realized? It is all of the teleports unlocked in the Ring of Shadows. Let's go. This next task I'm going for is the Dark Memories achievement, which is a Grandmaster task that requires you to spend less than 6 seconds inside the Shadow Realm. Going into the Shadow Realm is necessary to help identify what's going on during her special phases, but you can kind of get away without really doing the mechanics, and it just works. Yo, let's go. Dark Memories completed. Dude, chromium ingots. What the fuck? In this clip, I'm going for the Tentacular Combat achievement, which is to kill the Whisperer while on the Arceus spellbook. This is only annoying because after each of her special phases, she will snare you in place. To counteract this, I was previously ice barraging her so that she couldn't reach me, but since we're not on Ancients for this, I'm simply running to the edge of the arena, and she will stop short of me every single time, saving me from taking some melee hits. Tentacular completed. Let's go. I just realized something. When you walk around, he stares at you. See her moving? Kinda creepy.
Wow.
Eating good.
I don't even have enough space to take all these.
Just put them in your bag.
Oh dang, another Awakener's Orb. Yo, let's go, Perfect Whisperer.
Yo, this guy's perfect.
Oh, no way.
What'd he get?
I was off by 1
Oh.
second on the speed time. So unfortunately, we were off by 1 second on the master speed time, but we did get the 50 kill count task completed. So I'm going to be stopping here, but maybe someday when I have an imbued heart, I can come back and finish the other speed tasks.
It's happening.
I can't say. I don't know how far I'm gonna get. I got 2 attempts.
Yeah, the first attempt's just a practice run, honestly.
Of course. Yeah, I wasn't gonna get anywhere close, so we just teleported out. But it was still kind of fun to give it a try. And thank God I have a shadow, because killing the Whisperer without it would not be very fun. Anyway, I went and died to Hespori so that I could reorganize everything again. I'm going to be taking a break from the Desert Treasure 2 bosses for now. Eventually someday I will likely try to get the Awaken task completed, but I would like to do all of those in one go. I probably should learn them on my main too, but I also realized that I never actually completed the Desert Treasure 2 quest on my main either, so I'll need to get around to doing that as well. But I'm glad that we could knock out a handful of combat achievements and get closer to the Master Combat achievements. Alright everyone, thank you for making it this far into the video. If you enjoyed it, then let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I make sure to read each and every one. In this video, we made some progress towards the new goal, which let me experience some different bosses that I really haven't had time with before. Anyway, that is going to be everything. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.